Minister, who would have thought that the most oppressed section of Irish society in terms of pay were 3 junior ministers? And it beggars belief that the government would bring forward this proposal. So you were a former Minister for Health, and on many occasions nurses and doctors, but especially nurses who all of us have paid tribute to, and rightly so, over the last number of weeks and months, who have done Trojan work on keeping us safe and operating on the front line of our health services. They had to fight the government tooth and nail for every single pay increase that they have ever made. And in fact, those pay increases that were even due have not been paid to their satisfaction quickly enough, or it hasn't happened in terms of the just claims that they made. And every time that they raise these issues, they're told that the money isn't there. They have to follow due process. There has to be a negotiation and all of what goes with that. And yet, at the stroke of a pen, this government can just slip into another bill which is actually designed to do the right thing in terms of establishing your department. And you know I have an interest in this because of the need for a technological university for the South East, and I wish you well in your job and hope you can get that job done for Waterford at least and for the South East. But in terms of then slipping into the bill, Minister, this proposal to increase the pay of 3 politicians, of 3 junior ministers, super junior ministers, when they are already well paid, at a time of a pandemic, as Piers Doherty said, and to give the impression that the most oppressed, marginalised group in Irish society, because the only group of people so far that this government has given a pay increase to, if this bill passes today, are 3 junior super ministers. How, in God's name, can anybody in this place stand over that? It is beyond shameful. Absolutely beyond shameful that that's what you would do. And as others have pointed out, Fianna Fáil again have done a U-turn on this, as they will on lots of issues, we have no doubt about that, over the next number of weeks, months and years, as they have already done. So there is absolutely no justification for this whatsoever. And anybody that votes for this cannot look a frontline worker, a nurse or a doctor or a consultant in the eye anymore and say your pay claim is unjust, or it can't be done, or you have to get to the bottom of the queue or the back of the queue, or we don't have the resources, because they will rightly throw it back at you that at the stroke of a pen, and you're pulling a stroke here, to slide it into this bill that pay increases for 3 super junior ministers, but not for those who have held the front line. And as others have said, yes, you were quick to clap those frontline workers, but now it's a slap in the face. That's what it is when you propose a measure like this. And surely all of you, from Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Greens, know this is wrong. Know this is sickening. Know this shouldn't be happening. Know you shouldn't be doing it, but you do it anyway. And I think you should be ashamed of yourselves for bringing this forward at a time of a pandemic, and at a time when so many people are suffering, at a time when you're going to reduce the pandemic unemployment payment for people who need it as part of your so-called July stimulus. And you have the brass neck then to bring in an amendment to increase the pay of 3 very, very well-paid politicians. I mean, the brass neck of the people who will support that is absolutely galling. The hypocrisy is galling, and you know it's wrong and you shouldn't be doing it. And I hope at this 11th hour you will support opposing this section of this bill and do what is right on this occasion. Gurra Margaret.